Right, hi, it's the Constant Angler. I'm out doing a little review of the Sembo 117 Air by Thorns Line. Now, I'm not even sure you can get this now. I think you can. I don't know if they've withdrawn them. They've had a lot of problems with them. With this end tension cap being very loose, not supported, the threads being too wide. Mine seems fine, so I haven't touched it, but I haven't used it yet. So my plan is here, the only place I can get away from the wind a little bit, is to try out various lures and do my usual casting videos. So I've got 0.2 PE Kingdom Microfly on. If you look at it, it's a beautiful little reel. I'll do an unboxing and on the bank review. That's what I tend to do. I particularly like the dial on it. Reminds me of the Valiant Eagle 2. The reel does remind me of sort of a cross between the Valiant Eagle 2 and the Aldebaran 2022. I think they've sort of taken influences or frames from various things and amalgamated the two. Not particularly keen on the handles. Feel cold on a really cold day like today. I'm going to start off, as you can see the wind is terrible, so I'm 100% sure how this will go, with the cripple jerk. You can get off fishingdiscoveries.com. Paul Gaskell sells them. Great little lures. It's around about 4 grams, I think. I'll do pictures in pictures. Little or no side to side play. I'm going to start with the brakes right up, so up to 9, and see what happens. There's a twig out there that might be going to get in my way, so yeah, well over braked at that, but then we'd expect that. Let's take it down to around 7. Very shallow here. The wind isn't in the direction that the weatherman predicted, but how often do we say that? Yeah, nearly at that thing. But I mean, yeah, it's over braked. I'm going to skip this in along the surface, so we'll probably pick up some weed, etc. Take it down to 6, and we're just flicking it out there, and that's going well actually. Maybe I've got lucky and I've got a decent one. There's been a lot of QC issues with it, and there's a race to go to the lightest reels we possibly can. This is made out of reinforced plastic, so rather than your usual carbon, which is, I guess, why it's a bit cheaper. Oh, bird's nest, darn it. Give that too much then, didn't I? So I've dropped down to a little Surinoya 3 gram crankbait there, trout jerkbait even. Let's see how it handles that. Put the brakes up a little, start up to 7. Yeah, that's quite good. Let's take it down 1. Yeah, I've pulled that a bit, the timing was out, but it's a good distance. I'm not having this inconsistency of casting at the moment. There you go. I mean, that's a great cast. A good distance, controlled. So far so good. It's a joy to use. Take it down another click. Yeah, it's really going out there. I'm feeling guilty because it appears I have a decent one. Yeah, I've got the drag set tight. It's a bit potluck with this reel though, to be honest. A couple of the moderators on my group, BFS Finesse Fishing, have had a couple of duffers, well, more than a couple, 3 of them. And what they've done is they've added an O-ring here in between the tension knob and the frame, and a little bit of PTFE tape to tighten the threads up. But you know, I'm just not getting that problem. In fact, I'm really liking it. I can only, you know, this is a sample of 1 as far as I'm concerned, isn't it? But in a sample of 4, a QC leaves a lot to be desired. But I mean, that is good distance, and it is very controlled. Not a hint of a bird's nest there at the moment. I'll drop it down even lower. I'll show you where I am on the brakes. So hopefully this will... See, I'm bang on 6. So let's take it down another click. Yeah, the wind caught that terribly, but it's out there again. I'm not having problems. It sits lovely, it looks nice on this rod. Oh, the dog in. Yeah, there. That's a wonderful cast. I'm not measuring this, I got no way of measuring it. I might be able to do something with Google Earth to give you an idea. I can count the turns and do all of that, I suppose. There you go. Let's count the turns. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 34, 35, 36, 37 turns. Let's have a little look at line lay. It's a bit bunched to the right, to be fair, but that could be the way I'm holding it. And it goes again. Well, let's try winding it straight this time. Flat and level and see what the line lay's like after that. And then we're going to drop down to a 1.5 gram lure, which it should be able to handle. So, I mean, it's bouncing on the water surface and that, so it's not going to be perfectly flat, and I'm up above. It's okay. It's not great. It's not out of bearing. You can see how fast a drop I've got there. Well, hopefully you can. Let's show you that off the rod tip. That's just with a little or no side to side play. Do a little roll cast. There we go. Yeah, beautiful. Sorry lads, I'm actually enjoying this at the minute. Do some backhands and things. Yeah, well, you know, that's doing it. Here we are. It's accurate. Right, let's drop down. Right, now we're going to check it out with a 1.5 gram lure. This is about 1.6 grams with a clip, something like that. I'll put picture in picture again. Turn the brakes up a little. So windy, is off my back. Oh yeah, it's out there. It's straight. It's accurate. It's a decent distance. How is that end tension? Yeah, quite possibly that is tightening up a bit. This could be the problem, but I'm not noticing it. Yeah, it's only one click it's tightened up. Let me go another click off. You can see the drop I've got. Take the brakes down to about 6. There. Yeah, it feels tight there now though. And I've gone down with the brakes, so maybe this is where it's... Let's have a go though, I'll play. Yeah, I would say that is... Actually, maybe I spoke too soon. That's loose now. Not bad though. That is fantastically accurate. If you could cure this bit here, not sure it has become a problem yet. I don't know. But I mean, I cast that very high, but that's extremely controlled. 1.5 gram lure. And it's straight as a die, so I am liking it, even if I have to fiddle with the end tension a bit. That's looser now. Let's take it down. Yes. It's lovely. This is far more accurate than the Commandos and the GKA 200. you know, the turtle and that, these like, I mean, it's effortlessly throwing that. That's actually a joy to fish with. It's nice smooth cast, and out it goes. What can I say? Yeah, there may be a problem there. I can feel that side to side play. Let's take it back a click. But if no one had told me about that problem, because I can't feel that slop just by pushing it side to side myself. I think it's quite loose this way, the one I have. It's quite easy to move it that way, catch it with your thumb maybe. Maybe as the spool revolves there's a bit of pressure there, and maybe it's I don't know, making it move in that direction. But I mean, look, I mean, that's on a brake setting. Let's show you. Just above 5. Thumb bar is quite high, but I haven't had a problem where I've accidentally clicked it yet. I think that was another problem, a problem with several reels, not just this one. Oh, that wasn't the best cast by me, but I mean, you know, let's go down lower. So it seems to me the problem with the reel is this. That is a problem. It's, you know, I can say what I want about my reel, but if from a sample of 1 in 4 only one of them is okay. But you know what, I mean, look at that go. That's a hell of a distance with a 1.5 gram lure. It's accurate, it's controlled, it's effortless, and I'm down below 5 now. I'm going to go down to 4 and actually try and bird's nest it, because I'm not going to go any lower than this. I mean, I'm putting on lures that you would typically use with it. There's a wind behind me, so it's adding extra distance. You know, I'm not going to lie to you there, but I mean, let's try and but I probably will bird's nest now. I'm not going to cast right into the wind because it is strong, but let's try out there. It's being dragged all the time, but that's where I wanted it to go. And on a brake setting of 4, take it down. Thing is, no matter what with that, it's doing it, and I can definitely stick a washer on there, and I've got peace of mind for that then, and a bit of PTFE. It's not a set and forget. I wouldn't use the PTFE, but if I put a washer on there, it would prevent any problems. Look at this. I mean, that's, the wind is dragging that to the side. My brake setting at 3, the brakes are great. Do you know what? If it lasts and it keeps fishing like this, and they can sort the QC out, I mean, look at that go. Little bit of overrun there, over spool, or under spool, tucks back under. They've almost cracked it with this reel. They can sort the quality control issues out and this intention knob out. On this, you know, my initial findings, I mean, I'll fish it all year and let you know what it's like, because this here would be ideal for, this is where I do my BFS mullet fishing, it would be ideal for that. It could be ideal for edging, that's what I'm thinking. But look, oh, there you go, I bird's nest it. I did a snappy cast and I bird's nested, but it's down on 3, you know. It was to be expected. So let's have a little summary. There are other reels I want to do as well while I'm here. So to summarise, I loved it. I loved using it. It's cast 1.5 gram lures. You know, I haven't gone down to 1. I haven't brought that with me today. It's not the conditions to try and do that, but I have no doubts that it would do it. That's the thing from this. It has a lot of brakes. It's very controlled, but it's not over braked. Yeah, it's lovely looking. This is the thing, is this going to be a problem or not? Only time's going to tell. I don't want to have to fix it in place, fix it and forget it. I don't want that. That's what some have had to do with the PTFE tape. If I can chuck a washer in there and it just solves the problem, if I do have a problem, then great. It was a lovely experience fishing with that. That's all I can say. I mean, you know, I'm just whacking that out there, and I probably didn't even need to thumb it. It's that good, and it's going a wonderful distance. If I cast it into the side wind, or I cast it straight out, so I can't complain, can I? Does this feel like it's, let's put this, tightening up? Yeah, maybe a little. So that might be something to keep an eye on as you go along. If you feel it tightening up a bit, just knock a click off. But it's not doing it rapidly. That's all I can say. Look, you know, just bump. I didn't really thumb it then. Skips the lure back nicely. It isn't the smoothest. It's not an outer burn. You're not going to get that for the money that you're paying. It's not an Acura. It's not Acura smooth. So I can sort the problems out with this though. This could be a fantastic entry BFS reel. So sort this Thorns line. What else problems we have? I've got a terrible motor slot there. I have a little bit in these, but these stick a little washer in there and you solve that yourself. What's the drag like? Loosen the drag off. This is something I always forget to. You know, it's a nice steady drop there, isn't it? Let's have a look. So what's the drag feel like? It's okay. It's quite a nice little sound. Takes a little bit to start it in the first place, but I don't think you're gonna lose a fish because of that. You could take it apart and clean the drag washers and grease them. Would make it even better reel. Grease up everything inside. I haven't taken it apart to look like it's inside. I'm kind of afraid to, because I like it as it is, and if I fiddle with it I might get a problem with this. But there you go. I can only say this is what it's done for me on the day. It says it's got 11+1 bearings. It's very stylish looking. Air 7.8, so I guess a 7 to 8 to 1 retrieve, so it's quite a fast retrieve. What else does it say? A thing Sembo. But I'll tell you what, Thorns line, sort out your QC, you're on to a winner here. And I just love these dials. Why am I putting this video out about this Sembo Air 117? Because they've actually withdrawn it. Well, it's had its problems. We'll talk about that in a second. And for some reason, you can't find it on AliExpress now. I guess Thorns line, who make them, have withdrawn them to fix issues that were raised within the BFS community. What I will say is I'm just going to review it anyway and hope that they bring it out with those issues addressed. I think I've got lucky and don't have one that has the major issue, or if it does, it's not as much of an issue with my reel. Bear in mind though that, you know, mine's just a sample of one. It's my reel, it's what I see with it and how I feel about it. I do run a BFS Facebook group called BFS Finesse Fishing, and 3 of my moderators on there have bought this reel and have had problems with the end tension cap. We'll get into that in a moment. So there could be a QC issue there or something else. I'm not an engineer of any sort, so I can't tell you what the fix is. I can give you some fixes that they've come up with. But yeah, it's an interesting reel, and it could be such a good reel, I think, for certain things. So let's unbox it and have a look. So lovely box, nice decals, aren't they? They sort of pick up whatever available lights around, and as you can see, yeah, I quite like a reel like that. That's a bit blingy, isn't it? Bit of foam there. There's the reel. You do get a lot of bump in it, but unfortunately it's in Chinese. Carbonite, think Sembo 11+1 bearings, is it the smoothest the reel? No, it's not. 7 to 8 to 1 gear ratio, lightweight. There's a race now to try and get down lighter and lighter and lighter. We'll talk about that at some point during the video. You get a user's guide, which is in Chinese, and then also a parts schematic diagram card. I'm struggling for words. It's not a usual thing for me. Let's put the lid back on. Just see what it says there. I'll freeze frame that so you can see some of the specs. 4 kilos of drag, etc, etc. Microorganism fishing reel. Well, we had a bit of a laugh about that one. I guess what they mean is we're throwing very light lures for small fish. That is what BFS is about, or can be about. You can catch large fish on BFS gear as well. It's just getting the right stuff. And similar sort of specs, etc, etc there. Let's put that aside. Now you can see I've been out with it already. You know, let's talk drag. Vibrates a lot, I'll say that about it, but decent solid enough sound. This clicks, that clicks. Now this is supposedly the worst bit. I mean, you can see that's actually wobbling. That wasn't moving as much on the bank when I was fishing. It actually feels, get my fingers right, a bit looser now. Now, there's been a couple of fixes done. I'll talk about them further on in the video as well. What people have come up with is putting a plastic O-ring in here, and even putting PTFE tape on the threads. I think I had a problem on the bank, but mine wasn't a rapid problem. It's very gradually tightened up and took away your side-to-side play. Now, it's very loose, that there now. Let's take it back a couple of clicks. It's still very loose. There we go. Probably one more click. That's about how I'd set it. Yeah, and I can feel some movement in that. So, you know, maybe I wasn't as lucky as I thought I was. But when I'm on the bank, you'll see me casting with it. And I'm really enjoying fishing with it. So this video's here as a sort of shout out to Sembo. Is, you know, sort these things out. And, you know, this is £20 or so I bought this for. I will find the exact price for you. I like the styling. It is reinforced plastic. There is a bit of flex in things. There's a bit of slot there in the handle. And the handle knobs. And a bit in there, that as well. The handle itself, the mechanism. But it's not bad. It feels a little bit cheap. The Star Drag feels plasticky. They're tiny things. I mean, this is outer bearing size. So they tend to feel a little bit toy-like anyway. It's quite stylish though. We think they're taking influences from the outer bearing itself, and I think from the Valiant Eagle 2 reels from Casking. The dial is pretty much a copy of that. You have a positive click on the dial, and it's quite nice. It's quite responsive, quite cute. You've got max, which is effectively 9 all the way around and down to minimum. It's very positive and responsive, and on the bank I found it very good. Yeah, it does vibrate a lot in the hand. I think that was something that the guys mentioned as well. But, you know, that might wear in and get better. I've already been told that it does. It's not too much of a problem, is it? It's only going to be a problem when the drag's pulling, and then it won't be. You'll be thinking about the fish that you're after. As long as it's smooth, which I demonstrate, it's reasonably smooth. Takes a second to start up, which a lot of cheaper reels do. 11+1 bearings. It doesn't feel like an 11+1 reel, and when it's okay, It's a bit loose, sloppy, but the gear meshing isn't too bad. So yeah, I'm putting this out there anyway for people to see. It's got 7 to 8 to 1 gear ratio. I don't particularly like these. They were a little bit cold on the day. They are plastic, but they soon warmed up from me winding a lot. Let's have a look inside. So this is where it reminds me of the Valiant Eagle 2, because you pop that forward, same mechanism. Don't like the ones that stick out a lot, to be honest. I prefer just pop it straight off. So that could, fall in the drink, but there's lots of reels that could happen to. You've got 8 little micro bearings. I don't know what bearings they got in it. They're not the smoothest. They don't sort of brag about the bearings they got in there, but I presume there's some NMB bearings possibly. Tiny, tiny little spool. You just got your usual pin there holding it in. I can't see any C-clips. This is another area of concern, I think. You see this little indent there in the metal? Can you see that? You should be able to see that now. I wonder if that's got something to do with it all. Or yeah, I don't know. But I've not seen another reel with that. So I'm just looking for differences that might be causing the problem or problems. And if I see something different, I do wonder. And if you look down inside here, I don't know if the camera's going to show it. The stem, the plastic stem that comes in from the end tension cap, so it's like a spacer stem. It is plastic, and it is sort of has a pronounced bump on it, which I think is sitting inside of here maybe, and maybe the two are interacting to tighten things up, move things around. I don't know. As I say, I'm not an engineer. It's just things that I'm noticing different to other reels. So yeah, it is a cheap reel. It does feel cheap. I'm not going to lie to you about that. But it would be nice if these little things could be fixed. If you could have instead of a plastic, reinforced plastic, you'd have a carbon frame. If you get your technology right in there, the little things that are a problem, you could maybe stick an alloy frame on it, and then I think you'd have a hell of a reel, because just on the way it performed on the day, the way it cast, how controlled it was, how adjustable it was a good experience for me.